Recording to the cloud. All right, welcome, welcome. Okay, so we can all test. We have studio audience.
We're
That's
joining.
great.
That's
So we're
okay.
gonna test, everybody's gonna test their energy first. So in the clear, you just raise your dominant hand and knee, and you're just gonna for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds, you press, and 2 pounds, 2 seconds, and then you put your palm on your head and you retest. Does it stay the same or does it get weaker? And then compare it to the back of your hand. The back of the hand should get weaker. So it should be strong in the clear, strong with the palm, strong, and then weak with the back of the hand.
That's true.
Oh, so you guys are already good. Because usually people show up and they're like, I'm totally backwards or whatever. But you
No.
guys are all good. The teacher's bad today.
I'm
So that brings me to that disclaimer where I say, I'm not teaching this because I'm perfect. I'm teaching it because it really helps me. And I'm moving today, but I wanted to do this session today because I need the session and everybody else needs it. No, but Allegra's not here, Brian's not here, Karen's not here, and Diane's not here. But we're gonna have some fun. All right, so the next test that you do, test the laterality. So everybody's gonna do the same thing. 2 seconds, 2 pounds of pressure. And then everybody look at the X and retext. It should stay strong comparatively to when you test it in the clear. And if it gets a little weaker, it should be exactly the same as in the clear. And then you want to test that against this. Look at the 2 lines. The dog ate my homework here on the corner.
Let's go on the same leg.
Same leg, yeah, same leg. And then look at the line. You should be, this should go weaker. Yeah. If you look at the 2 lines. What'd you get, Mel?
I was a bit weaker, like my leg went down for some of those.
So this should be strong because your energies do cross over, and this should get weaker. So when you go in the clear, look at the X, it should stay the same. And then when you look at the lines, you should feel that it yields.
No, I had some issues with my leg going down for both of those.
Yeah, so then you're double off. Yeah.
Okay.
Regardless, what everybody notices, what did you find?
That didn't change.
It didn't change. So you were like locked a little. So what you'll notice at the end, after we do a bunch of the energy work, is you'll notice that you actually get a perfect result. Super strong on the X, weaker on the lines. Super strong on the palm, much yielding more so on the back of the hand, which means you're more nominal. Your energy is more available to you. It's moving through your system better. Okay, so some of the things that we do to clear that, we do, it's called the hookup. So the middle fingers, which are the, of course we have no fire now. The middle fingers, yes, the fire czar. We have a fire czar on the class today.
Hello.
This is Brett, this is Melanie.
Hi.
So what we do is we take the middle fingers in the navel and onto the third eye. And you can come down or you can go up on both. And you just gently press in, and just a tiny lift is fine, but don't put too much pressure. The navel is your Shenke point, which is your spirit gate kind of energy. This is where you were attached to your mother, right? Like it's a really primordial point. The point in the third eye, which is called Yin Tang. Yin Tang is calms the Shen. So in Chinese medicine, the Shen means spirit. So it's super calming to hold these 2 points. We're going to close our eyes and do 10 deep breaths. And make whatever sound you need to make to just get it out of your body. That's vibrational medicine. Better out than in. Just feel the energy settling. Just this alone can right so many wrongs. Yeah, make some of the ujjayi breath through the back of the throat, because that will stimulate glossopharyngeal, hypoglossal, and the vagus nerve. Let the air just make a sound over the bucopharyngeal fascia. So everybody will have a tell when this kind of starts to settle in. 10 breaths is the minimum. 5 minutes is about enough to allow the energy to hook up. Like you can hear my voice is much lower, right? And that's a vagus nerve tone thing. When my voice starts to go like this, because I've been stressed all day, and I can bring it right down. The vagus nerve controls the tone of voice and the nervous system. So my tells are my voice, but also my shoulders, which go like this because I'm stressed. It's like immediately they release and they're not clicking anymore. So you start to notice as you do your exercise, what is your tell? What is the signs that you're looking for? Maybe it's to be able to breathe better so you can actually feel more space inside. Maybe it's your jaw or your neck, right? Or that rumbling in the stomach or a pain in the lower back. So that's what you're looking for. So we can come out of that and relax. One of the next ones we'll do will be to actually do the homolateral repatterning. So we learned last week that one of the people here had, we did a lot of stuff and some of the other people were balanced out, but the one person needed to actually do the homolateral crawl, which we didn't do. So we're going to stand up and do it now. So it basically what it does, to preface, is we're going to do the same side hand, and that's when our energies start running laterally and they no longer cross over right hemisphere to the left side of the body, left hemisphere to the right side of the body. So what it actually does is it starts to retrain that pattern, because when we're stressed or we get shock, our energies start to run in these lateral patterns. So I'll stand up and come over here. So it's going to look like this. We're going to do 12, 12, 12, 12, 24. So same side hand, same side leg. I want to turn on another light. So we're going to go right hand, right knee, left hand, left knee, 12 times. And then you cross over 12 times. Right hand, left knee. Doesn't matter if you're off by 1 or 2. And you do it nice and slow and deliberate. And then we're like, I'm going to go back to the same side. I know you really like running in this pattern. Technically, I like to do this 10 times. I like to kind of detrain this pattern. So we'll just do it 10 times. I don't want you running this way. I want you to run crossover 12 times.
Wait, you don't slap it?
You don't have to. You can touch the foot if you want and roll your back. You can get as much exercise from this as you want. And then we're going to come back one more time and only do same side 8 times. Now I feel tired doing this way. You should feel tired doing this same side business. And then go crossover. Now you should feel energized doing this. So for people that, now we're doing this 24 times. So for people that go for a walk and are like, I'm so tired, I can't even go for a walk, their energies are switched. They're homolateral, and then this will fix it. Pretty powerful stuff. So when
Just
it,
my muscles are
and
tight.
if it hurts the front, go through the back.
Oh, that's
Use the hamstrings
Okay,
and go behind you and touch the opposite leg. Then you get some hamstrings. I'm wearing black on black, so that's not good. Or you can go front and rotate, but either way, as long as you're doing opposite hand, opposite leg, you can do a squat in between and then hamstring, squat, hamstring. Okay, now we can sit down. That's the big one for standing up. So the next thing, we'll do our top 10 things, the top 10 energy vitamins, and then we'll retest our patterns. Okay, so we got that, we got that. We'll do the 4 thumps. So we're gonna go through some meridians that are really typical emotions we have. So stomach meridian is worry. And it's if you feel the orbital bone right beneath your eyes, it's right there. Make a 5-finger notch and just start tapping. Gently, just making contact with the skin. And the martial arts seed sound for stomach meridian, the emotion is worry and the seed sound is WHO. So you're going to make a really nice, they're all nature sounds, all the seed sounds. "20 to 30 seconds is all we really need to do for the 4 thumps. And then for fear and anxiety, not that anybody has any of that, we're underneath the clavicle on the kidney point. So if you follow your clavicle in right here, cross over for this one, add a crossover and use your 5-finger notch. And we're going to tap K27. It's the last point on the kidney meridian, right beneath those clavicles. This process is fear and anxiety, and it's the water element. So it actually makes the sound like water, CHOO. So you inhale and exhale. Sounds like waves coming into the shore. Ah, nice. And then the thymus is a gland that really stops producing white blood cells around the age of 25. It's right in the middle of your chest, like the Tarzan thump. So we can do the actual Tarzan thump, but I always do it with the palm side. Tarzan thump. And it's supposed to stimulate white blood cells. So when they looked at blood work, etc., they noticed that you could energetically stimulate the thymus and produce a bit of a boost. Because energetically, you can stimulate it. And you can just make whatever sound you need to get something out that's stuck, that doesn't serve you anymore.
What is the Tarzan sound?
Exactly. And then we'll go to spleen, the next pretty important meridian, which is spleen on the seam. So it's kind of like up as far as you can bring those fingers.
Oh,
And we'll tap here. And if it's sensitive, you need these points. Yeah.
I just can't get my fingers there.
Or it's hard to get them. It's basically wherever you can get to.
Okay.
Spleen 21. Spleen is the yin of stomach, which is earth. So again, worry, lack of faith, not trusting ourselves or somebody else or divine creator, right? So we'll make the same seed sound, WHO.
Oh, yeah.
WHO.
Oh, yes.
It's really like they're all the seed sounds are nature sounds. Yeah. And then I often add the karate chop, which is small intestine, which is basically small intestine is a fire meridian. And it's about things that you can't assimilate when you just can't sort out what do I need? What do I not need? What do I absorb? What do I let go of? We kind of deal with that on a daily basis. So I kind of go back and forth. And the martial arts seed sound for fire is HAW. And you'll know which sound you're always like, I'm a fire. So you'll always hear me say, because I'm always burning too bright or pushing things too much, burning the candle at both ends. And we make these sounds, innately and just instinctively.
I was relieved to make that sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That's
that's awesome.
totally you. You're totally fire. Yeah. And I suppose we might as well put one in for the liver meridian, which liver is like frustration and anger at ourselves, right? Anger directed inwards. So the liver 14 point is right beneath the nipple line, right beneath the breast, right on the ribs. So if we tap here, you can cross over even. That's a little more comfortable to not for the girls, I think. So liver 14, and it's wood, the element wood. And for that anger directed inwards, the sound you want to make is SH. Shh. 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 Good. Good. And I just kind of clean my hands a little bit from that. Shake it off. So the only element we didn't do was metal. So since we had somebody request metal today, which is lung and large intestine, lung is grief, large intestine is like guilt or regret. Generally, I'm speaking, there's a bunch of emotions, but those are generally the ones. Instead of tapping a meridian point for lung, let's do the neurolymphatic points, which is really up and down the sternum. So we're just going to take, our 5-finger notch and just rub up and down the sternum. Because what the neurolymphatics do is they start stimulating the movement of lymph for the serosa of the organs, which is the sac around the lungs, which is the pleura. So it encourages waste removal and it encourages fluid coming there to bring nutrients, but also waste removal. And it also gets rid of grief. So we'll make the martial arts seed sound S. Then you can do little circles because there's some lung points here as well where the ribs attach. It's basically gallbladder, lungs, heart, all the way through here. Just make little circles along the side too. And if there's any points that are sensitive, you want to note that you're congested there. So generally those emotions are congested, or the emotions and or the organs. So, and or the local lymph, right, for our breast. So Donna Eden prefers that the neurovasculars that we're doing now are actually part of the top 10 daily energy vitamins. So we'll hit some of those. So we come all the way down. And then we're going to go across. Take one hand and go across under the clavicle and all the way out, because you've got kidney, heart, and stomach, and some lung over there. So a lot of good stuff. So I bring it all the way out and I push it over the shoulder with whatever sound you need to get out of you from your day or your week, if you do this once a week. So we'll just bring that out and then shake it off, right? And you actually feel like I'm a shoulder person. Everything goes to my shoulders and goes. So I automatically, for everything we're doing, I feel like I have normal shoulders like when I was in my 20s. Otherwise, I felt like I was 120. The next ones are the rib heads. This is small intestine, things we can't process in life. So we're going to rub from the center xiphoid process, which is usually sensitive for everyone. That's the stomach meridian alarm point there. But going along the ribs is small intestine. So you can say HAW. And it also works the abs. It puts extra energy through the abs. Each one of these points flushes an emotion, strengthens and detoxes an organ, and also activates muscles. For my athletes or for people I train, if they don't have a muscle that works, you go to the point and you rub it and the muscle will be strong. And it's like, which way do you want to go into your game or into your, bicycle ride or your yoga class, right? All right, so we got that. Some of the next big ones is put your middle finger in your navel, okay? And then you're gonna just bring your 4 fingers out about an inch and just rub. There's a whole bunch of points there for the organs. Again, individually, large intestine, triple warmer, kidney, bladder. And it just, again, it's also stimulates the vagus nerve when you do this. And it starts to move the fluid through the organs. Fluid is life. And for this one, just make whatever sound you need to get out. Left, that's left. Ah. Burping. So let's address burping. Sighing, yawning, burping, belching, farting, hot, cold, tingling. Those are all signs of energy moving. All right, good. And then just pull that down the arms. Because there's points down the arms too. Good. Good. Perfect. That really helps. Good. Then we're going to open up the channels in the neck. So we're going to start in the middle of the neck, and one set of fingers pulls down to the clavicle, the other one goes up to the chin. 3 times right in the center over the thyroid. And then go to one side and start doing it again. Come down. Look, there's 3 channels on each side and the center. So if we go to the right or whatever, you've got this one. Go to the middle section. I might make her want to cough. Stomach meridian rules neck muscles. And then all the way back. Yeah. And you can open these up. This is a big one for me. I'm a neck shoulder person. Always got to work on that chakra and those muscles. There it goes. All right. So that's just working those neurolymphatics, again, starts to just move fluid. In the osteopathic wings of the hospital, they used to actually have manual osteopathic doctors come and rub these points, the lung points particularly, or the gut points, so that people wouldn't get, backed up, and they wouldn't get pneumonia. And they didn't. But as soon as drugs became the big thing, then the hospital administration was like, we don't need manpower on that. If they get pneumonia or they get backed up, just give them a drug. But you can still use these. They still work. So, all right. So the next one we'll do is the Wayne Cook posture. It brings about connection between all the meridians and a whole brain state. So it looks like this. Take your right ankle over your left knee. Take your right hand, the palm is going to go onto the bottom of the foot, and the thumb is going to go facing the heel into that little K1 point. There's a point there, that's your kidney meridian, the only acupoint on the bottom of the foot, the wellspring of life, gushing springs. And the fingers are wrapped around the toes. Looks good, looks good, looks
It's
good.
right there where you put your
Yeah,
thumb?
exactly.
Oh,
You
up
got it.
there, hot.
Yeah, well, it's kind of just where you rest, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Depending. And then take your left hand and it goes on top of the ankle. Wayne Cook. So it creates a whole brain state when they look at this on a QEEG. We're going to do 10 deep breaths. You really start to feel the settling that happens. And then we switch sides. You can hold that as long as you want. But right now, for the class, we'll switch sides. So left ankle over the right knee. Take the palm of the left hand and place it on the palm of the foot, the bottom of the foot, the ball of the foot. Wrap the fingers around the toes. Place your thumb facing the heel, but in that K1 point, which is basically at the ball of the foot, in that soft spot. Take your right hand above on top of the left ankle joint. Close your eyes and breathe 10 deep breaths for this side.
Am I pressing or just?
You're just holding, yeah, just make a good connection. If your body wants to move, just swing it. Bow your head, roll your shoulders, as long as you're holding on to the foot. That's the first part of Wayne Cook. The second part is to take the fingertips together, not steepling, but round, because it's harder. It's actually harder to do this. So it's an exercise more for the cortical spinal tract, which basically is the part that degenerates first in the brain. Good. So you hold it against your heart center. So now we're making, put the thumbs right between the breasts. That's your C of Chi, CB17. We're going to breathe in and out of the heart center. We're going to do a little bit of heart math. So as you breathe in and out of the heart center, try to feel your heartbeat. Focus on something that makes you feel appreciation to create heart-brain coherence. Just feel like you're coming home to yourself when you get to that heart center, that middle dantian, that middle power center in the toroidal field that is the biofield of your body, right in the center of your being. And then we're going to take it up to the upper dantian, thumbs to the third eye, the yin tang point that calms the shen. Elbows back, shoulders down. 3 deep breaths here. And just feel the energy field from the brain. The bioelectric nature of the heart and the brain is huge, right? There's a huge field that comes off. The yin tang point is one of the actual points for the upper dantian. And then the last part is you interlace the fingers with the baby fingers, the heart meridian and the small intestine on that yin tang point. And you just drag and pull your fingers across the forehead, behind the ears, over the shoulders, and then back down to that Sea of Chi, that heart center. Take a deep breath here. So that's the Wayne Cook, but I'll always follow that because we just kind of did the crown pull with the crown pull. So we're going to start again at Yin Tang. And the crown pull basically is going to pull behind the ears and down to the heart again each time, because there's a meridian there. That's our fight or flight limbic system stress meridian. And we're going to trace it backwards to kind of flush it out in a little, just tone it down a
I
little.
switched fingers.
That's fine. Yeah.
Bottom finger.
Yeah. So you start here and we're going to do that one more time. And you can press pretty hard for this one. And then bring your fingers to the middle of the forehead and do it again. It kind of works as a cranial regulator as well, cranial bones. Come to the
Right, right
hairline.
here?
Yeah,
Under
hairline.
your eyelids?
Actually, you
On
can
your
start here.
eyebrows?
Yeah, we're gonna go higher. So middle and
okay.
then hairline next. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you pull down like you're getting that sagittal suture, which is where the parietal and parietal meet. And the sutures are actually like this because they breathe. The bones actually move and they absorb stress. And when you run and you're doing, heavy exercise, they're actually opening. So your cranial sacral rhythm is pumping your primary respiratory rhythm. So you just keep pulling down, and the crown pull is super effective for headaches or for when you just feel like you're overthinking. Move the energy. What are we doing? We're moving the energy out of the head back down to the heart. Good. Yeah. Some big yawns over there. Good. Perfect. And then you're back at the center dantian. And where we really want everything, we want to bring it down to the pilot light, the lower dantian. So we're going to place the thumbs both in the navel and the index finger together to create the triangle of the lower dantian. So this is our enteric nervous system. So we're going to breathe in and out of this part here. So there's the lower, middle, and upper dantian, and we've lit the fire, and now we're bringing it back down to ground. Feel your power just in the pelvic bowl here, totally available to you. Everybody talks about raising your frequency, but it's also about raising your voltage back up to 100%. Since, all of these emotions that we hamster wheel every day and all of our neurology that's like hamster wheeling back here in the hind brain, the stress brain, the limbic brain, it's like it steals our voltage. So we're taking time. That's why we're managing our bioelectric body and our neurology to bring back 100% voltage. And so now you can keep the thumb in that Shenke point and then just place your palm underneath it on the main lower dantian. And the back posterior point is called the Mingmen point, the gate of life. So we're going to just take the other hand, see what feels better. This is what's interesting. Make a 5-finger notch and see if you can find that point right behind the navel on the spine. If you're using a 5-finger notch, you're going to get it. It's kind of the apex of the lumbar curve. And see if that feels better or if it feels better to place your whole palm there. Does that make sense? For me today, it's the palm. Sometimes it's the fingers. I want to get right into L3. L3 is basically where Mingmen is. And we'll do some deep breathing here and just try to pulse. Push back on the exhale. Push forward on the inhale from the back. Push the front hand on the exhale. So you're almost creating a wave for the lower dantian. Good. Now we can bring both hands behind to that Mingmen point. And we're gonna massage up and down the spine at that point to just generate a little electricity for Ming Men, the gate of life.
How do we position our hands? Like basically like this?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly, you nailed it.
Side of the spine.
Yeah, on the actual spine first. You're going up and down on the actual spine, on the lumbar spine. On the Ming Men?
Tailbone or not so much?
You know, not yet. Yeah, we're gonna do the penetrating flow to just open this up from the beginning. The penetrating flow is basically the toroidal field, the center of the field that has a bidirectional flow. And we're gonna work with a bit of that. That's one of the deepest energy systems. Now you're gonna rub on either side, circles on either side of the lumbar spine, right in the middle at Ming Men. There's a lot of stuck energy there, right? For the adrenals, the kidneys, they're a little higher, but this is like also large intestine. The root is right at L3. Yeah,
Which
exactly.
way? This way?
Just circles. Yeah, it doesn't matter which
Doesn't
way.
matter which way.
Yeah, you can change direction if you want. Whatever feels right. Your body will actually naturally do it. And then start pulling that energy around to that lower dantian below the navel. It feels so nourishing. This one always gives me goosebumps. And then we're going to bring it down the inside of the legs and grab, the thumb is going to be on the spleen 3 point on the inside of the big toe, and the other fingers are grabbing around the baby toe. And you're just going to let your head hang and exhale. Spleen 3, just holding these 2 points, which is the bunion point or the first metatarsal point, and wrapping the fingers around bladder 65, 66, 67, the baby toe. It's super nourishing to the nervous system. So that brings the penetrating flow down. Now let's bring it up. So we'll go back to rubbing that Ming Men point on the middle back, L3. And this time we're going to rub it down to the tailbone and back up. Just pretty much as high as you can. Stimulating all of that lumbar plexus for all the guts and all the nerves that are housed there. And then rub on either side. And then start pulling it around again to that lower dantian at the front, our power center, our martial arts center, where our gate of life and our spark of life comes in. And then come from the pubic bone all the way up the center, all the way up through yin tang and out the top of your head. Inhale. And just feel your hands come down your biofield. Aura can sound woo-woo, but it's not woo-woo, it's biophysics. Good. And then you're going to come back again. We're going to do that 2 more times. Now we'll do it 3 times. 3 times is generally what you do just because it retrains the energy. It takes about 3 times when they would muscle test things. So Mel, that's why we always do everything 3 times. I grounded it out once, but then we're going to come back down for more grounding. And then we can do a little faster, up and down the spine, little circles. So just a couple times, pull it around. And this time we're going to add the actual tracing of the penetrating flow, which goes pubic symphysis up and then around the mouth and then up into the field. Good. And one more. There's so many different ways people do penetrating flow. Donna Eden has a really great way of doing it. For today's super chill by the fire one, we'll do it the super chill by the fire way. And then up and down and rubbing back and forth. I think this is more Prune Harris. Prune Harris, you can look her up. She does great energy work too. Pull it around the front to the lower dantian. And then up from the pubic symphysis, right up the center, around the mouth, and then up into the field. And then like Tai Chi exhale, coming back down, and then back to the heart center. So now we've got
Whoa.
our inner soul. That's your soul's energy. That's your, you can't, that's your fire. And that those fires are always burning. It's just they get kind of, the energy doesn't move from them to other places, which is why we've been connecting them to the dantians and now and the chakras and then some of the meridian points, which are more superficial. So let's go bring everything down and ground it out again. So right hand to the left shoulder, and you're going to squeeze, squeeze the tension out of that, and then pull it through the heart center, down and off the opposite foot. And exhale. Or you can squeeze your foot. Sometimes squeezing the foot like we just did feels like what you need, right? Or if you need to get rid of something, you can just exhale it off. So you come squeeze
that
and then
and
through the
out.
heart, opposite hip, opposite foot.
That one to that one.
Yeah, crossover. So some more crossover patterns. We have so many
Right
crossover
leg,
energies.
Right leg.
Yeah. So yeah, if you picked that, yeah. So we'll do it again. Nope. Say left hand, right shoulder, or right hand, left shoulder, and then pull across to the left hip,
Yep.
and then down and off. Yeah, exactly. It's going to end up being the same side hand, correct? Now I know what she's talking about. Feels good, right? Squeeze that tension out. The tension, the tension that it goes through the shoulders, those muscles are two things. They're the kidney meridian, fear and anxiety, right? Fear and anxiety makes us go like this and the shoulders tighten up, but also that triple warmer meridian, which, you know, we always trying to keep down from jumping. It's a fire meridian, so keep the fire calm. So 3 times each side, that's good. And then we'll do, let's stand and do the belt flow. So that's another extraordinary flow of energy that goes through all our organs, which we're always needing to keep organized and keep the fluid moving. This one feels so good. So we're going to stand and take your left hand on the lower left lumbar. And you'll notice the sacred geometry of the body is your fingers will touch your pelvis and your heel of your hand will touch your ribs. And then you're going to start pulling that energy out and pulling it with the other hand through that lower dantian about 6 to 8 times, pulling it over and around to the opposite hip and then down and off the opposite foot. And then right hand, right lower back, and then you're pulling out that stagnant energy. So when you're on the right side, that's liver, gallbladder, resentment outwards, liver, anger directed inwards, and also kidney and adrenals. Opposite hip and down the opposite leg, pull it out. Good. So that's 1A, 1B. Now we're going to go for 2A. On the left side, you've got stomach, spleen, and the left kidney, adrenal. Pull it across 6 to 8 times and then down across the opposite leg and off that foot. Bring that head back up. Looks good. Yep. And then 2B, we're back on the right side. Pulling out liver, gallbladder on the right. And then all the way down the left leg off the foot. Opposite side. Yep. And then 3A, we're back to where we started. 3A. This actually really helps menstruation or people that have that are stopped up. Digestive stuff. 3B, we're on the last side. So we've done it 3 times each side. All right. And the last little bit of grounding that I like to do, and then we'll retest, is we're going to just take off excess energy from the hands. Clean that energy off from anything you pulled out, right? And we're going to take the palms, which, you know, give the energy, under the knees. You're just placing them under the knees. Yeah. And you're going to hold them there. Kind of don't pull them in too much. Kind of put them at about a 120-degree angle or at least 90 so that you can hold them. There's so many points behind the knees that are gallbladder, which are for resentment outward.
Put our fingers into that.
Nope,
or
you're just
it's
making,
flat?
yeah, flat hands. Boop, boop. Triple warmer neurovasculars, so for the limbic system and emotions. And there's also bladder points, and the bladder meridian actually rules the whole nervous system. People always say, what does the bladder have to do with the nervous system? Well, you know, when you get real nervous, you have to pee. We sometimes have to
Nature
take,
calls.
if nature calls, you're like, you kind of, it
Totally.
needs to happen fast all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
Animals do it too.
Animals do it too, exactly,
They're nervous.
when they're nervous. So we'll do 3 deep breaths. Make whatever sound makes sense. Good. And we're going to take one leg, one calf, and we're going to squeeze down to separate the gastrocnemius muscle. So there's, which has 2 heads, and it's also, so just think in the middle of the back of the leg. It's usually sensitive for a lot of people. These muscles are actually your fight and flight muscles. Why is that? Well, because your Achilles tendon is what goes snap and it pushes your legs off so you can run. That's these muscles here. So you treat shock and trauma a lot with the lower leg and the heel. And when you get to the bottom, we've done it 3 times, you're going to massage the inside and outside of the heel with your thumb and your fingers. The inside is the kidney meridian. That's the yin, the sensitive yin side. And the outside is bladder. So fear and anxiety. Bladder is a little more like hopelessness and nervousness, generally speaking. So you just do a little some circles there. And then we're going to take the foot and we're going to squeeze the fingers and massage with the thumbs the outside of the foot for the gait reflexes that you learned last week, Mel. And so on the base of the big toe and on the outside of the foot, you're doing some circles. And then look down and notice the tendons of the foot. Start to massage between them on the top, but also underneath. These are called gait reflexes, and they refer to a host of different muscles that can help you run faster, bicycle faster, and just restore a lot of energy flow through the organization in the body and the gyrus in the brain for managing muscle groups and organization in the body. Massage in between those points are all those gait reflexes between the metacarpals and metatarsals, really. Yeah, metatarsals. Yeah, good anatomist here. Exactly. Now the baby toe is the bladder toe, so that is the martial arts seed sound, CHOO. So we're gonna hold and pull off and say that sound. Pull the baby toe. Just pull it out. Yeah. Shake it off. No more hopelessness. 4th toe, gallbladder. That's resentment outward. SH. Shh. Who needs that? The middle toe, there's no meridian. So I call it the freelance toe. Make whatever sound you need to get out.
Okay.
Ah! Good. 2nd toe, stomach. That's worry. WHO. Woo!
Ooh.
Get rid of that. The big toe has 2 meridians, the liver, which is closest to the 2nd toe, and that's anger or frustration directed inwards. No more of that. So SH. Shh. Good. And then we do it again for spleen, which is on the inside of the big toe. And spleen is also WHO, lack of faith and trust. Good. Now feel both legs. Feel the difference. One feels super light and airy,
Yeah.
you know, because
Amazing.
you moved
Yeah.
fluid, you moved
Yeah,
energy.
It's like cement.
The other one feels like we have cement. What do we feel here? Okay, let's do the other side. Good.
Woo!
It's time for something. That means the right leg is baked.
Like pie.
Oh, it's time for pie, is it?
Yeah, it's time.
Do you have anything in the oven? Good. So we're squeezing through. Good. 3 times really is enough.
Well, the space station's going by.
Oh, get
Ah.
the binoculars.
Binoculars, yes.
That's
And then
amazing.
massage here,
Okay.
inside and outside. Oh yeah. Kidney, bladder, not like anybody has any fear and anxiety about anything these days. So you could also, when you do this, you could also do CHOO. And then massage underneath and on the inside and outside of the big toe and baby toe on the side of the foot. Some gait reflexes there. And then massage between the tendons where the other gait reflexes are. Organize the body. I actually spent a lot of time on the lower electric points, bladder points, and the gait reflexes for a man who had trouble walking. And he literally walked his first 30 feet without his cane. Like, it's for real. I did a little bit more functional neurology too, but the combination, it was just amazing. The stuff, you know,
Wow.
really does work. And then we'll pull off baby toe, bladder, hopelessness, CHOO. Choo.
Shoo.
Fourth toe, no more resentment, SH. Shh. That's gallbladder. Middle toe, freelance toe. Ah. Get rid of it. Second toe, worry, stomach. WHO. Whew.
Ooh.
Big toe, number one, liver. Anger directed inward or frustration, self-criticism. Nobody has any of that. SH. Shh. Good. And then again for the big toe for the spleen. So faith and trust, divine creator. So WHO.
Ooh.
No more lack of trust. Shake that up. Good. Wiggle those toes. Ground yourself out. And just really press your feet. You can press your feet into the ground, like the Hawaiian grounding ritual is actually to go buh, 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 making that sound. That really helps ground that out. I've done that in cases where I just feel super squirrely from EMF or from stress in that case. All right. So now we're going to finish just before we do our retest with the two other upper dantian points. So 5-finger notch in the base of the skull and on the top of the head. We're just going to do 3 deep breaths holding these two power points, GV20, governor vessel 20, and governor vessel 16. They regulate a lot in the nervous system, and they also...
Lisa, can you just do kind of a side view more for me?
So right at the base of the skull, if you slide down and you get right
Oh,
in
yeah, okay.
base of where the skull ends and the muscle begins,
So you're-
that's GV16, yeah.
you're-
Right in the divot back
thalamus,
here.
the-
Yeah, right at C0, C1, the occipital atlanta joint there. In the very top was governor vessel 20, 100 meetings. These are PowerPoints, guys. You can use these to create a whole brain state and to just bring yourself back to the present, problem solve better. The Wayne Cook is great for problem solving because it creates a whole brain state. And just to come back into your spirit, into your energy. Dropping back in, settling down. And then usually I say, take your whole hand along the bridge of the occiput and put your hand on your forehead. This here balances anxiety and just also, it's called frontal occipital holding. So when you're stressed and you're in hamster wheel mode and the back of the brain is hamster wheeling, that's where the limbic system is. But the front is your thinking brain, your cortex, what separates us from animals. So if you hold the two of these, you'll actually start a great communication that you can see on a QEEG, a qualitative electroencephalogram of the electrical activity of the brain. So you can actually hold these points to bring about a calming of the Shen. And we come back down to the thumbs in the navel and the lower dantian. And then we're going to retest and see if we get a much stronger gradient, like less of a gradient and a stronger yes or no, and X and for the homolaterality and the polarity. All right. So the first one will be just in the clear, use your dominant hand, dominant leg, 2 pounds, 2 seconds, and then put your palm on. I'm locked now. That's locked. You should feel like it's like effortless, and then switch. It's like all of a sudden it's like, it yields.
Mhm.
It should feel like, it should feel more balanced. Now you do it again with the X. So that was for polarity. Now you would do it again in the clear. I just put my hand up. So it's like, you know, you're not doing anything with the other hand. Then look at the X and do it. And it should be strong. It should stay the same as it was before there. And then you look at the lines and you retest, and it should be yielding. It should feel like it yields more and more than before. Like if it was strong, and there you feel a difference. Yeah, good. So that's what you want to do. You can draw this on a piece of paper easily, on 2 pieces of paper, and just test yourself randomly during the day. In the clear, 2 seconds, 2 pounds of pressure. And then look at the X, it should stay the same because your energies should be crossing over in hemispheres, right? And then when you look at the straight lines, that would mean your energy is running laterally and you don't want that. So you should be weak because that's not congruent, right? That's not what you want. And the same with the polarity. You should be strong with the palm, and then weaker, and it should yield with the back of the hand because of the positive and negative. So in that case, the polarity would be, you know, either you'd be frozen, they'd be strong, or weak, or they could be reversed. The palm would be weak, and then the back of the hand would stay strong. That would be reversed. And you'll start to notice your pattern. And then the more you do it throughout the day and check it and then correct it, all of a sudden it stays. And that's what we're going for, which would mean what? 100% voltage for you, for your system, for whatever you want to do with your body. Thanks for joining to work on your bioelectric health, guys. We'll see everybody next week.